So in this video, we want to show you the integration between the Listdom directory plugin and the Elementor page builder. Listdom is a powerful directory plugin that helps you create any kind of directory website, including classified ads, business directories, hotel directories, real estate, and any other kind that you or your customer may need. Listdom has several features that can be designed with either the Listdom tools or page builders like Elementor or Divi. In this video, we will focus on the powerful integration between the Listdom directory plugin and the Elementor page builder. To use Elementor with the Listdom directory plugin, you need to install and activate the Listdom Elementor Addon available on the Listdom website. Before installing and activating it, let's see which parts of the plugin can be designed with Elementor and what they look like before using this page builder. The first part is the listing cards, which are the main component of the listing shortcodes. Using Listdom shortcodes, you can create different archives for your listings, and each one includes listing cards that show a summary of the listing details. The second part that can be designed with Elementor is the info windows of the map. When you click on a marker on the map, a detail and summary of that listing is displayed. The third part that can be designed with Elementor is the single listing. When you open a listing by clicking on the listing card or from different URLs, you can see the details of the single listing displayed by default in the Listdom Elementor Addon in the Listdom plugin. Finally, we have the archives in Listdom. Listdom has 5 free taxonomies, including categories, locations, tags, labels, and features. And each of these items has an archive that shows all of the listings assigned to the taxonomy. For example, we have a tag called parking, and all of the listings that have this tag are displayed here in the archive of this tag. If we install the Elementor add-on and activate it, we can start designing these parts with Elementor. Now, let's go and activate this plugin and see how we can process it. Here in the plugins menu, I have activated the Listdom Elementor Addon, which is a standard WordPress plugin that you can install and activate. By doing so, a new menu under the Listdom menu will be added called Elementor Styles. In the Elementor Styles, you can start designing various styles for listing cards, single listings, and info windows of the map. For the archives of the listings, you need to go to the native Elementor menu called Save Templates. I will show you how each part of the plugin works, but before that, let's see the front end. I have designed different styles for various components of the plugin. I want to show you these designs, and then we'll look at the back end to see how we can design and assign them to different parts of the list. Here you can see that I have designed custom listing cards for the Listdom archives and Listdom shortcodes. Several attributes of Listdom are displayed here, and I have changed the design of the price and the location accordingly. Additionally, I have added a button that features a hover effect. I used Elementor to design the style. If I navigate to the map and click on a marker, you can see that I've designed a more minimal view with more details about the listing. It includes a directions link that leads the user to Google Maps, and all the contact details are listed here along with an excerpt of the listing. I can incorporate any elements of the listings into the designs. Clicking on the listing opens the single listing page where I have included icons for comparing, favoriting, and different elements alongside my own design styles. Now, let's see how we can start designing this. I just opened the website dashboard, and as I mentioned before, a new menu has been added under Listdom called Elementor Styles. In the Elementor Styles menu, you can see several designs. To add a new style, click the Add New Style button at the top. First, you can select a name for the new style. For example, I want to design a new style for the single listing. Then you need to select the style type, which could be the single listing, listing card, or info window. I will select the single listing. The archives are designed through the Elementor Templates menu, which we will discuss later. After making that selection, I will hit the Edit with Elementor button to start designing our single listing. This opens the standard Elementor editor where you can drag and drop any Elementor widgets. To begin designing your single listing, for instance, you can bring in a heading widget and use the Elementor dynamic tags to display the single listing title. As you know, Elementor's dynamic tags are included in its Pro version. However, you can also use Elementor add-ons that provide dynamic tags for free, like the Vertex add-ons, along with the built-in Listdom dynamic tags. Here, you will find listing fields, and by clicking on them, you can select the listing title. This means the listing title will be displayed here. If you prefer not to use dynamic tags, the Listdom Elementor add-on offers several elements and widgets. You can see that each part of the listings has its own widget. You can drag and drop it onto the page to start designing. It also includes various style options for customizing the widgets. For example, we have the listing title widget. You can customize the tag of the title, adjust the link method, and change the different styles of the listing title in the style settings. You can apply the same process for various components of Listdom, such as designing the listing cards and the info windows. Let's check the pre-built designs that I created earlier. For example, I want to open the Elementor single listing style and edit it with Elementor. I have also designed several styles for the listing cards. For instance, I want to open the vertical card style 2 or style 1 with Elementor. For the info windows, we can open the info window plus contact details. I have named them this way to distinguish between them. Let's see how they look. Here we have the design of the single listing, the design of the listing card, and the design of the info window. You can select each one and start designing, adding elements and styles to them. For the map info windows, it's best to keep the width of the container at about 300 pixels, which is the optimal size for info windows displayed on the map. To do that, you have to open and design the listing cards with Elementor, where the container can be set to 300 pixels. I want to mention that some of the elements and widgets of the listings added by Elementor may need extra Listdom add-ons to display properly. For example, the compare icon or the favorite icon requires the Listdom compare add-on and the Listdom favorite add-on. Otherwise, the content won't be displayed properly on the front end. Finally, let's see how we can start designing the archives of the listings using Elementor. Before doing that, I must install and activate the Pro version of Elementor because the archive template is included in its Pro version. Okay, to design the archives of the listings, you have to open the Save Templates menu of Elementor, hit the New Template, and select the Archive template. Set a name for it. For example, we name it Archive 1. Start designing it with Elementor. The process of designing is the same as any other Elementor design process. You can use the different widgets and elements of Elementor to start designing. The main widget that will help you design and show the content of each archive is the Listdom shortcode widget. You can drag and drop the listing shortcode widget here. You can select one of the shortcodes that you have designed. For example, I want to display all listings in a grid skin here. You will see that all of the listings will be displayed when you put this shortcode here. The content of the shortcode will dynamically change based on the archive that is displayed. To assign this design to different kinds of archives, go to the display condition of Elementor, add a new condition, and from the listings archive, you can select it to be displayed in the categories, locations, tags, features, and labels. For categories and locations that have a parent-child relationship, you can set it to be displayed in direct or any child of the location or categories. By doing that, the content of the archives will display in the design that you have here. You can use different elements and widgets. For example, you can bring an image here and put an image here. You can include different titles, banners, tags, headings, and other content to be displayed in your design. For example, I select an image to be displayed here. This home can be displayed here. You can bring and put any kind of banners or different kinds of images here, but I want to just put this image here to see how it looks on the front end. Also, I can bring a heading here, and I want to set it to display the title of the archive. I can select the archive title from the dynamic tags here, and I want it to be aligned to the center. I just publish it, and as I mentioned, I just want to display it on any archive of the listings. I save and close it. Now, I want to show you how we can assign different styles and templates that we have created so far with Elementor to our listings. We have to do some configurations in the Listdom settings that we are going to check. There are 4 parts of the Listdom plugin that can be designed with Elementor: the archive, the single listing, the listing cards, and the map info windows. For each of them, we have to do some configuration in the Listdom settings along with the changes that we have made so far. We start with the archives. As we just designed an archive with Elementor, I open the settings of Listdom, and under the Archive and Slugs tab, you can see the Archive Pages option in this menu. You can select any shortcode for the archive pages to be used and displayed. It's not related to Elementor until now, which means that if you're not using Elementor and the Elementor add-on of Listdom, you can start designing different shortcodes here. If you don't know what the shortcodes of the Listdom are, you can see the preparatory video, which has completely explained the powerful Listdom shortcode builder. You can design a shortcode for different archives and then select that here. The details of the listings and archives will be displayed with that skin. However, if you have designed an Elementor template, as I showed you, and you want your archives to be displayed with that design, you have to select the first item, which is current theme style. The locations here, for example, will be displayed with the Elementor design style. I select it and save the changes. Here now, let's see the front end to observe how the archive is displayed in the design that we have. We have the apartment category, and you can see the listings here. It's not the Elementor design. It's just a short code of the listings assigned to the category. As you saw here, I assigned the locations to use the current theme style. So I opened one of the locations, for example, the Houston location. You can see that the design we added with Elementor is used to display the content of the Houston location. All the addresses are in Houston, and all of the listings displayed are located in this area. We have the image that we built, and also we have the archive name here. In Elementor dynamic tags, you can even hide the location term, and the archives will be displayed using Elementor. Now let's check the other parts of the plugin. The second one is the single listing, where we assign the Elementor style to the single listing. Open the single listing menu, and under the style category, you can see that I have selected Elementor. Under the styles menu, we have the styles for the single listing designed with Elementor. You have to select the one you want your listings to display, then save the changes. The listings will be displayed in that style on the front end. If I click on any of the listings, you can see that the single listing is display with the style we've chosen. Now, let's check the listing cards and the info windows to see how we can use our designs on the front end. As you can see, I have a map here. I placed the markers to display custom designed info windows for the different listings. Now, I want to show how I assigned that info window to be used with the Elementor design. The lists displayed here are also designed with Elementor. We have the map shortcode, and you can see we have an info window style option that I have selected. I selected the one I designed with Elementor. So on the front end, that design will be used for the info windows. To use this option in the short course settings, you need to use the Listdom Advanced Map Addon to change the info window style. If you want to use the info window design with Elementor on your site, besides the Listdom Elementor add-on, you need to use the Listdom Advanced Map add-on as well. Now, let's check the other shortcode used for displaying the list. Here, I have selected the list view, and in the Styles drop-down, I have selected the Horizontal Card Style 2 designed by Elementor. As I explained, by selecting this, you can use your Elementor design styles on the front end as you wish. So far in this video, we've displayed how we can use the Elementor page builder to design different parts of the Listdom, including the single listing, the listing cards, the map info windows, and the taxonomy archives. If you have any questions about the content of this video or other parts of Listdom, you can contact the Listdom support. We're here to help you, and don't hesitate to reach out.